Welcome to another reading of Lord Mayhare, page 3355. Chapter heading is Dehradun, 1953. July 1953 marked the first issue of an American quarterly dedicated to Meher Baba. It was called The Awakener and was edited by Phyllis Frederick and published by Warren C. Healy. In her first editorial, Phyllis wrote, "Speaking from the heart's intuition and experience, we feel not only is Meher Baba the true avatar of our age, but will prove to be one of the most extraordinary of all time, that never before has God let descend such an outpouring of divine love and grace. Because mankind is at the most crucial juncture of its whole evolutionary and involutionary history. We must either love or perish, and God helps our choice through this man. May we choose with him to love and to be awakened." On Sunday, 5 July 1953, it suddenly started raining heavily while Baba was seated with the mandali. Baba remarked, "People on the street must have gotten wet." He told Alaba to see how many people were on the street. Alaba reported that the streets were empty, but he found a man dressed in a loincloth and dhoti standing outside, soaked to the skin. Asked what he wanted, the man said he had come from Delhi for Meher Baba's darshan. According to Baba's instructions, Alaba told him that since Baba had stopped giving darshan, he had best return home. Leaving the bungalow, the man left weeping and stood on the roadside. Alaba informed Baba, and the visitor was summoned. He was the same size as Nilu, so on Baba's direction, Nilu gave him some dry clothes that would fit, and he went to the bathroom to change. He was given hot tea and a mango. Then the following conversation ensued. Baba asked, "What is your name and what do you do?" "My name is Hakumat Rai Kapil, and I am employed in New Delhi as a clerk." "What do you want?" "I have been reading your books for 2 years, and I obtained your address from a Mr. Adi K. Irani in Ahmednagar. From here I will proceed to Mussoorie, and thence to Rishikesh and Haridwar. I am thinking of spending a week in the Shiva ashram and some time in Kali Kamliwala's ashram. I want to learn spiritual practices to make progress on the spiritual path." "Are you married?" "Yes, I am." "Do you love your wife?" "I loved her before, but since I have become interested in spirituality, my love has lessened. My wife loves me very much, and though at first she did not approve of my spiritual inclination, now she herself is leaning toward it." Baba commented, "There are many ashrams in Rishikesh and Haridwar, but the devotional practices in the Ramakrishna ashram are better than others. There you will learn about meditation, yoga, and so forth. But these Ramakrishna himself never practiced in his life. But tell me, you desire spiritual training. What sort of spiritual training? I don't quite grasp what you mean. I have read about them in books, but don't know how to do them, such as breathing, inhalation, and exhalation. Also, what name of God to repeat. I want to learn these things. Baba asked, what is your objective? Hakumat emphatically replied, to be one with God. In your efforts to be one with God, by trying to understand yoga, you will be lowering your objective. How to inhale, how to meditate, what posture to assume. These are all exercises. Only heroes can realize God. The path leading to Him is quite different. God wishes that we attain Him most naturally in our day-to-day life. It does not need meditation. Numerous yogis and swamis in the world are still unaware of God. They follow the path of meditation, yoga, pranayama, and guide others in how to do other spiritual practices. Instead of emancipating, these bind the seekers more. You want freedom, but all these things create more bondage. If you truly and sincerely wish to realize God, you should be ready to sacrifice your life for Him. Are you ready to die for Him? Hakamat replied, I am prepared, and whatever you instruct me, I will carry out. Nothing more is required if you are ready to carry out my orders 100%. Baba recalled the case of Swami Premananda, how he had come to him and failed to adhere to even a simple order to come alone. Concluding, Baba emphasized to Hakumat Rai, in short, 100% honesty counts. The slightest hypocrisy is fatal. Honesty should be of such a degree as to make even God feel we are as honest as He is in His infinite state. In this path, the least hypocrisy is dreadful. If you desire to lead a yogic, disciplined life, go in for drills at some ashram. Go to saints and seek their guidance. But if you want to attain divinity, be ready to die for it and follow my orders 100%. Hakumat Ray said, if I cannot realize God, I do not want that life of discipline. My sole aim is to attain Him. Baba stated, all past Sadgurus never advised seekers to assume a certain posture and sit in meditation. They taught them to love God and obey the perfect master. But this is extremely difficult. Compared to it, a yogic life of discipline is easy. Meditation is good as it silences the mind. Saints are, after all, advanced souls trying to guide others. The lives of genuine saints are for others. They lead others toward purity, toward God. But to attain God, one must die for him. Now, of these two, choose one. Either a disciplined life or God realization. For the latter, you will have to follow me 100%. If you do that, I will bow to you. Hakamat replied, I will follow your instructions. Then listen, go to Missouri and stay there for 2 days with your family. From there, come back to Dehradun and take darshan of either Sant Mangat Ram, or Sant Ishvar Singh. Don't sit there after bowing down. Leave immediately. If he asks you to sit, say that you have come only for darshan. Then proceed to Rishikesh to see Swami Shivananda, Swami Ram Krishna, and other good saints. Bow down to them, but do not remain there either. Also visit one called Nilkanthwala Must in Bhajan Ashram and bow to him. Then touch the feet of 101 sadhus. From Rishikesh, go to Haridwar. There also bow down to 101 sadhus. While doing all this, do not tell anyone that I have ordered you to do it. When you finish bowing down or touching the feet of saints and sadhus at all the places I have told you to go, then write a letter to me. Thereafter, after your leave from work expires, return to Delhi, and when I send for you, come to me, leaving everything, prepared to obey me 100%. Lastly, try to love your wife as much as possible before I call you. At the end of the interview, Baba beckoned Hakumat Rai close and gave him some raisins as prasad. Hakumat Rai obeyed Baba's instructions and waited for his call. The wait itself was the best spiritual practice possible, and it continued for the rest of his life. He would come to Baba occasionally during functions, but the call was constantly postponed. One day, when Hakumat Rai's heart thirsts only for the ocean, he will have that preparedness, and the call will be heard. Marvin, could you unmute and continue reading, please?
Later that same day, 5 July 1953, Ramdas Chaurasia of Nagpur came to Dehradun with his sons, Shankarlal and Ganeshlal, and they were also permitted to see Baba. Baba gave instructions to Ramdas about Shankarlal's marriage. In the course of conversation, Ram Das asked Baba the proper way to do japa, repetition of God's name. Replying, Baba stated, "Day and night you breathe, but do you ever think of it? Even at night when you sleep and when it is not possible to think of it, your breathing goes on for 24 hours continuously and naturally. Do the japa in a similar manner. Do it in such a way that it goes on spontaneously all the time, while eating, drinking, sitting, walking, talking, so that in the course of time it becomes a natural habit. To form this habit, first you have to repeat the one name of God most dear to you for half an hour daily, increasing the time gradually until the mental repetition becomes a natural habit, and you keep repeating it for 24 hours. God has hundreds and thousands of names. Select an easy one, and with every inhalation, repeat it. While doing it, no special sitting or standing posture is required. This habit will make you repeat God's name always, while eating, working, urinating, defecating, and so on. If at all you forget to take his name, take it at once, as soon as you remember. Do this, thinking that it is a duty given to you. Don't worry if you ever forget to take his name. If your thoughts begin to flow into a different channel, stop them and go on repeating his name. When it becomes a firm habit with you, even while thinking other thoughts, the repetition will be uppermost, and you will not even be conscious that you are doing it, exactly in the same way in which you are unconscious of your breathing. Do not do it like pranayama, by taking one chosen name when you inhale and the same name when you exhale. Not like that, but do the repetition as I have explained in a natural way. Take any name, mine or anyone's, but have nothing to do with breathing. Such a repetition will benefit you greatly, and there is not the least harm. If you go on repeating my name with love, you may possibly become God. Again, have nothing to do with pranayama. Follow the method I have shown you. It would have been different had you decided yourself how to take God's name. But now that I have instructed you, you have to act accordingly.
Okay, it's resumed. Go ahead.
I don't say you should take my name. If you want to take the name of Ram, that is all right. But do you know who Ram was? Joratia replied, I only know that he is the Ancient One and is born on the physical plane from age to age. Baba explained. Ram has four states. The state of Parat Par Parabrahma. In this state of beyond, God, or Paramatma, is completely independent and absolutely free. He cannot even be called God in this state. This state is the root, the base, the source, but it is not used.
Sorry.
Okay, let's see. In this state is the root, the base, the source, but it is not used. It is an important state. The Parabrahma state, number two. This is the second important state of God. In this state, all God's attributes exist. It is full of infinite bliss, infinite beauty, infinite love. It is a state of complete divine consciousness. It is devoid of the first state, God's unconscious state. And to say that it is Paramatma state, that it is the Paramatma state, would also not be correct. It's the Parabrahma state. Jivatma state. This is the third state of God, of you all sitting here, the drops of the same infinite ocean. And Shivatma state, when the Jivatma is merged in Paramatma, he becomes Shiva. You are all drops. Paramatma is the ocean. When this Jivatma bubble bursts and you become one with the ocean, it is Shivatma. In other words, it is the state either of the perfect master or a majzub. This soul can never have a fall from this highest divine state. This is the state of the seventh plane, Brahma Bhuvan, and is called the Shiva state. But when the Shivatma regains gross consciousness of the world, he is called a Sadguru. The ever-conscious Paramatma of this fourth state, who comes down on this gross plane, age after age, when Maya is at its height, is called the Avatar. He is always the one, the same in whatever age, and under whatever name he might have descended, Ram, Krishna, or Buddha. There is a difference between a Sadguru and the Avatar, Rasul, or Prophet. When a Jivatma becomes Shivatma, and besides his divine consciousness, regains gross consciousness, he is called a Sadguru, a man become God, man God. The avatar has not to pass through the evolutionary or reincarnation processes. He is the Siddha Purush, the ancient one. Both have the same power, but from the viewpoint of their work on this gross plane, a vast difference exists in the work they do for the redemption of humanity. Who is Ram? When you say Ram or Krishna, what is your idea behind it? Ramdas Chaurasia answered, the all-powerful. There is nothing he cannot do. Baba stated, if you repeat Ram inwardly and ask your heart who he is, reply will surely come. Now return to Nagpur and start your japa. After this, Baba asked Harichand Kochar about being a lawyer, and he informed Baba about his court difficulties. Baba counseled patience and stated, the whole world is like a mirage. Hope never dies. God is above all hope. There is only one way to attain God. When hope dies, God is realized. There is no other way. You do not benefit by years of penance, fasting, sitting in samadhi, or undergoing self-abnegation by sleeping on nails. There is only one remedy to get rid of hope, to get beyond hope, and that is love. And there is only one way to love, to forget ourself, and to do that, surrender at the feet of a master. Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Dhyanan Yoga exist to bring about this self-forgetfulness. But even though apparently successful in practicing them, no one forgets himself through them. Everybody knows that they will have to give up the body one day, but every moment they feel they will go on living forever. The mind knows one day it has to drop the body, which will die after, say, 7 years. But all the same, it is under the delusion that it will live forever. Why is it so? Because in truth, we are all eternal. Suppose you are young now and will die after 60 years, but you now feel that you will continue living. No thought of dying enters your mind. You only think about it sometimes when the mind reminds you. If the mind harbors the thought of dying all 24 hours, everything is gained. If this thought of dying is there for 24 hours, your work is done. Your mind dies. Pointing to Hari Chand, Baba punned, when mind dies, the Chandur, or moon, disappears, and Hari, God, comes. It means you are not yourself. You go away, or mind is annihilated, and God comes. According to Baba's order, Bal Kalchuri came to Dehradun to stay. Whoops. Oh, here it is. To stay with him permanently on Wednesday, 8 July 1953. Baba explained to him, the first order I am giving you is to visit the rooms of the Mandali every night and say loudly, "You fools, keep silence after 9 o'clock." Baba added, "This is only the beginning for you." Oh boy, he doesn't know what's in store.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bao, Bao was a newcomer, the youngest of the Mandali at 27, and some of the older members had been with Baba since the 1920s. Soon after sunset, Bao became very nervous and twice had to go to the toilet. At last, it was 9 p.m., and he started out on his sadhana. He went to every room and hesitatingly did as Baba ordered. Nothing happened by his repeating the statement. All the men thought it was a joke and enjoyed it, though they did not know it was Baba's order. But when he came to Kaikobad's room, Bao saw that Kaikobad was silently praying. Bao opened the door and shouted, "You fool! Keep silence after 9 o'clock." Kaikobad turned to Bao with a mingled look of surprise and anger. But his duty being over, Bao hurriedly slipped away. The next day, Kaikobad told Vishnu, "This Bao is an absolute rude chap. Last night when I was praying in my room, he quietly opened my door, came in and said, 'You fool, keep silence after 9 o'clock.' I was, of course, already silent." "He said the same thing to me," said Vishnu. "He is new and we should forget about it." "He has a master's degree," Kaikobad continued, "but still is quite a fool, and he has no manners." The second night, also, Bao repeated Baba's order, again disturbing Kaikobad in his prayer. What could Bao do? It was his act of prayer, and he had to do it. Kaikobad, though again complained to Baba, who withdrew the order. Meanwhile, Bao was assigned the duties of handling Hindi correspondence, night watch for a few days, looking after Isa, the troublesome sweeper's son, and most importantly, attending to Naga Must. 4 days after Bao's arrival in Dehradun, this Must of Najibadad, whom Baba had contacted in March, walked more than 62 miles to Dehradun. Seeing him on the road, Elsha informed Baba. He was about a mile away, and Baba sent a car to bring him. When he was brought, Baba ordered Bao, "Serve this Must, attend to his wants, and look after him well." Bao had never seen a Must before, and he was not quite sure what Baba saw in him. All Bao could see was a man completely naked, with thick matted hair, covered from head to foot with years of dirt from never washing. After bathing Naga Must, Baba showed Bao the room where the Must was to be kept. The Must was made to lie down on a bed, and provision for his toilet was made. He was like a Majzub, mostly unconscious of his body, though he was often seen wandering about. After instructing Bao, Baba returned to his bungalow. Going to his room, Bao began his correspondence work. After a short while, Baba came back from his bungalow and went straight to the Must's room. Bao followed and was taken aback by the scene. The Must had moved his bowels excreting in the bed, and it was filthy. Baba looked at Bao but did not say anything. Instead, he himself cleaned the bed and the must, and Bao felt ashamed for not being more attentive. From that day onward, Bao dedicated himself to the care of the must. But daily, Baba would find some fault with him. The must would pass stools 4 or 5 times a day, and each time Bao had to clean him and wash his clothes and sheets. Baba would come abruptly to the must room at any time, and he would always take Bao to task for some minor fault. When Bao would bring the must his food, the must would tell him, "You eat it, you eat it." It took Bao a long time to feed the must. Only with great difficulty would he be prevailed upon to eat something. One day the must was clean and everything in the room was absolutely spotless. Bao thought Baba would be pleased at last. But no sooner had Baba come than the must urinated in the bed, and Baba reproved Bao. Usually the must had a peaceful temperament, but one night he slapped Bao soundly. Bao was convinced that the Bao was convinced the must be truly mad. The next day Baba asked Bao, "Speak the truth, what do you think of Naga Baba?" Bao replied, "I have no idea about musts, but this one seems to be quite mad." "How did you pass your MA degree?" Baba asked. Did you have to bribe someone? You have no sense at all. You say he is mad, but I tell you, he is a must, an advanced soul. He is not mad. You are mad.
Okay, go ahead, Pia.
Okay. Dehradun, 1953. Bahu paid more and more attention to the mast, but the more attentive he became, the more Baba rebuked him and pointed out very small mistakes that Bahu would never have thought of. Day and night he looked after Nanga Baba. The moment the mast would urinate, Bahu would clean the bed and change the sheets. The must would never leave the bed and use the toilet. And though Bao did his best to induce him to use the commode in his room, he was unsuccessful. One day something incredible happened. After all the scolding he had taken on the must's account, Bao resolved that this day at least there would be no cause for Baba to be upset. Very early in the morning, he cleaned and scrubbed the must's room. He put fresh linens on the bed uh, and kept extra bed sheets ready in case the must spoiled the ones on his bed. Finally, everything was ready, and Bhau stood outside the door waiting for Baba to come. Baba arrived, walked into the room, and Bhau followed. As if struck by lightning, Bhau was dazed by the sight that met his eyes. A part of the wall next to the must's bed had collapsed. Luckily, it had fallen outward, away from the must. The amazing thing was that the wall had been in good condition, and Bao had been standing just outside the room and yet had heard nothing. Very displeased, Baba asked him, "Did I give you the duty of serving Nanga Baba or killing him? Had the wall fallen inwardly, he would surely have been crushed. Have you no eyes?" Bao was aghast and could not reply. "Why don't you speak?" Baba demanded. "Do you want to kill my must? Is that why you have come here?" Bao finally stammered. "It is beyond my understanding. How could such a strong wall have collapsed? It was all right just moments ago. If your intellect does not help you, why try to use it? I say he is not mad. So why do you still use your brain and think he is? Now tell me how the wall came down." "I don't know. Such a solid wall could never have fallen on its own. And I didn't hear a thing. I can't understand it." Give up reasoning and simply do as I tell you, Baba advised. Other incidents firmly convinced Bhau that Nanga Mast was not an ordinary man. For example, Bhau had appeared for his college exams, but the results had not yet been announced. One night, the Mast suddenly said to him, "You will pass." This was astonishing, as the Mast seldom spoke, and if he ever did, whatever he muttered or mumbled was totally unintelligible. And Bhau had never mentioned to Nanga Baba that he had taken college exams. The very next day, true to the Mast's words, a telegram arrived that Bhau had passed his exams. Another night, Bhau was sitting by the Mast when he said, "You will have a son." Bhau's wife, Rama, was still in Nagpur with their infant daughter and was pregnant. 4 months later, Bhau received a telegram that a son was born to him. Bhau had thought the Mast insane, but one day when the Mast spoke about the greatness of Meher Baba, Bhau's eyes were opened. After these incidents, Bhau realized that the Mast was not a madman. Nanga Mast was kept in Dehradun for almost 2 months. Baba would work with him occasionally, and when his work was completed, he and Baidul take him back to Najibabad, where he resumed his seat, lying naked day and night under a tree and wandering about the area. Baidul was sent out to bring mas, and Pukar once went with him. When they approached a mast in Kanpur, explaining that they wanted to take him to meet Meher Baba in Dehradun, the mast surprised them by asking, "Oh, has Meher Baba returned from America?" At first, the mast had been very cordial, but then he began cursing Baba in the coarsest of language and refused to go with them. Baidul managed to bring another mast named Shenshahi Baba, who had been sitting in the same spot for 25 years. Baba worked with him and then sent him back to the same village. For the observance of the 20th anniversary of Meher Baba's
Oops.
silence, for the observance of the 20th anniversary of Meher Baba's silence, on Friday, 10th July 1953, his lovers and devotees were sent the following circular. All should wholeheartedly, from the depths of their hearts, repeat audibly one name of God for 1 hour without a break from 4 to 5 o'clock early in the morning of July 10th. Hindus, Parabrahma Paramatma, Muslims, Allahu Akbar, Parsis, Ahura Mazda, Iranis, Yazdan, Christians, God Almighty. Besides this repetition, all should fast from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and take nothing except water during the fast. The men and women mandali in Dehradun likewise did the same. Kishan Singh was repeating God's name so loudly, it was as if everyone residing in Dehradun should hear him. He shouted, "Para Brahma Paramatma," at the top of his voice, and the Mandali thought God should feel pleased with him and grant him salvation soon, so that he would stop. When Baba was told of it, he had a good laugh.
Go ahead, Mona.
Disco- Discoursing on Sunday, 12th July, Baba explained about God realized Jivan Muktas. The state of realized souls is like that of a calm, tranquil ocean. Oceans have shores, but this divine ocean is shoreless. It is infinite, beginningless, and endless. The ocean is limitless and immeasurable, and so absorbs everything in it. Suppose Harichand is the ocean, Nidu is water in a pit, and Pendu is water in a tank. All three are water, but if anyone fouls the water in the pit, it becomes dirty. as Nilu is limited by sanskaric desires. Similarly, if a load of refuse is thrown in the tank, that water too gets filthy, as Pendu too, like Nilu, is limited by desires. But however much one urinates in the waters of the ocean, it never becomes unclean, as it is not limited by desires. Harichand is limitless and so absorbs all limits within himself. Even one on the sixth plane is not free of desires. Therefore, so long as desires last, there is no emancipation. The Jivan Mukta is that ocean who is conscious of both itself and the shore. But he has no duty to perform for the shore. There are three states. First, either the body drops after God realization or is retained with God consciousness. This is the Majzu. Second, after realization, some regain gross consciousness, but they are without universal duty. This is the Jivan Mukta, liberated incarnate. Third, after realization, some regain gross consciousness and they have to do universal duty. This is the perfect master, Sadguru or Kutub. In between the Jivatma, creation consciousness, and Shivatma, God consciousness states, there are several states. But what is the goal? To become the ocean, Shiva, God? To do or not to do duty is a different matter. What is the meaning of Jivan Mukta? It means, besides God consciousness, to also have gross consciousness and remain emancipated in the body. Majubs have no gross consciousness. The Satgurus have both God and gross consciousness and have a duty to perform in the world. Some weep, some laugh, some eat, and so forth. Sitting here, we are talking, and you do not know what is happening outside. But if you were to say that nothing is happening outside, it would not be correct because you don't know. And without knowing, how can you say that nothing happens? To know that, you'll have to go outside, and the further you go, the more your experience will be. We have different customs, different religions, different types of people with different intellects and mentalities. Some eat with their hands, some use knives and forks. It shows that uniformity does not exist in mankind. And the same is the case with other species on the gross plane. Similar differences exist on the spiritual path as well. Some advance on the path, some do yoga, some use different methods of meditation, but the object is only one, to become the ocean. After becoming the ocean, only the above three states exist. Some remain in one state, some in another, and others in yet another. But all three states are of the ocean. Three meetings were held in Dehradun from 15th to 18th July 1953. Those invited were Adi Senior, Adi Junior, Krishnaji, Nariman, and Meherji, and from Hamirpur, Keshav Nigam, Pukar, Dhar, and Gaya Prasad Khare, besides the Dehradun lovers and the Mandali. The meetings were held at Kishan Singh's bungalow at 101 Raipur Road, where Those invited were staying at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, 15 July. Baba began by dictating from the board. Today, I have called a few selected ones. It is for most important work for me. And even if only 7 selected ones were present, it would be enough for my work. Why I wanted at least 7 was that what I say and decide should be 100% honest in front of God. Really speaking, there was no need for all of us to meet together. What I will be discussing and deciding will only concern me. At least 7 should be present as witnesses, but more will do no harm. Whatever I say today or decide is of the utmost importance and should not be broadcast outside. All others will be informed later. While I was taking a bath this morning, I felt I must weigh every word I say. I will be laughing and cheerful, but what I discuss is in all seriousness. So I want every one of you not to broadcast what happens here. Only Elcha would never do so. Past experience tells me no for Elcha is yes for me. But today it is really no. Harichan shouldn't tell his wife or children. Now, before I discuss and decide the main things, first, let us examine the setbacks which have occurred. Although I can call them setbacks, it is God ordained because if I am Baba, I must know everything of the past, the present, and the future. So for me, there are no setbacks. When people take me as all knowing, then where is any setbacks for me?
Okay, it's resumed. Go ahead.
Like God, pray, oh God, make Baba say every word and all honestly based on what he feels. Kaikobad offered the prayer. Baba then continued, it would seem paradoxical that I plan one thing, declare something, and a setback occurs. And I say, because of setbacks, my plans are upset. If Baba is Baba, then no sort of setbacks can change his plans because I, being omniscient, excuse me, must know beforehand about them. So, this paradox can be explained in only one way. Let Nilu think of it as yesterday he had said that, being a Brahmin, his intellect is sharpest. Whatever I say now is serious. Don't take it lightly. I chalk out a certain plan and declare that I have decided in this way, and the results will be such and such, and then setbacks occur. This is not a pretext or excuse, but when I say that due to such setbacks, my plans become upset, it is not for me, but for ordinary persons. Now, let Nilu explain. Nilu interjected, you want to do a thing at a certain or particular time. Baba asked Erich, who said, I don't know anything about it. Sometimes I become perplexed when Baba says so. When you talk of setbacks, we must take it for granted that there is something behind it. Baba illustrated. Now, for example, the other day, I finally told Elcha that on July 21, we will go out for a week and gave him the option that if the station wagon was not available, we would go by train. Today, Elcha tells me that the collector has fixed a meeting for the 21st in which his presence is necessary. I came to know of it this morning. I wanted to take him with me and had asked him either to take leave or do anything but come with me. When I heard it, my plan again received a setback. Regarding Nanga mast from my work, I desired the presence of a must and sent Baidu specially to get one here, but he could not bring one. On July 12th, Baidu and Elcha saw a must in Dehradun and brought him here, but now I have no time for him. At first he was free, now he is confined to a room. I have neither the mood nor the time to work with him. Setbacks follow one another, but still we can't really call them setbacks. This is what I want to tell you and explain. I will tell you briefly about the setback to my previous plan. One day in Mussoorie, I explained to the Mandali a plan that I had in mind. It concerned a fortnight's journey without sleep. In order to activate the plan and give it a practical shape, I called Helan, Kishan Singh, Elcha, and Kumar to Mussoorie. I told them to arrange for a station wagon in which we could travel together. I explained to them that my plan for going out concerned some definite work, and side by side, we would contact musts at certain places. And for the purpose, I told them to try to hire or borrow a good station wagon. Elcha and Helan were responsive for this, and I had asked Kishan to write to Delhi about it also. Kishan did not write, and Kumar did not tell Elcha that the Nanhi Dunya institution's station wagon could be made available. And footnote.
Can you see it or no?
No, I don't see it.
Okay, I'll read it. Nanhi Dunia was a school for deaf and dumb children in Dehradun, which previously had been given some of the new life animals. End of note.
Elcha, however, had full confidence that a station wagon could be provided easily. So one day I called all four to Mussoorie and repeatedly told and warned them that I must have a station wagon. The poor work had already had a setback, and if this fortnight's journey plan did not materialize, my whole plan would be upset. They were sent suggestions about the station wagon and reminded practically every day. I kept telling them that if the conveyance was not made available and we did not travel together, my work would be spoiled. 40 rupees daily was allotted to cover the cost of hire and petrol, etc. Helan depended on Elcha, and one day Elcha telephoned Mussoorie from Dehradun that a station wagon had been arranged. On receipt of this glad news, I distributed sweets among the Mandali. But, mind you, my plan did not depend on the station wagon, but on three things: 15 days roaming about, 15 days no sleep, and 15 days moving about from place to place together, which was only possible if a station wagon was procured. Soon after, I returned to Dehradun from Mussoorie, and daily there was discussion about it. Kumar, too, was told to see to it. Whatever it may be, I was very serious about it.
Awesome. Go ahead. We're rolling.
I need a break from this trivia. You can never really retire if you're at low income, your Social Security. You have to figure out how to keep up with these programs. It's quite challenging.
Yeah, well, they want to make sure you're not dead.
Well, no, I'm not dead, but maybe they want to make sure that I'm not happy. Okay, Dehradun, 1953. Why? I will tell you. No one is to blame all the while. Whoops, it went off my screen. Wait a minute. All the while, I had been stressing that my plan was for a fortnight. We were all to be together, to eat and drink together, but not to sleep at all. The result of the work would have manifested in Kashmir, and many things were to have happened. Yet I felt simultaneously all the time that the plan would not work out. And that was why I kept warning Elka. Otherwise, why would I have warned him repeatedly, since he was so 100% sure of obtaining a station wagon? Occasionally, I would also threaten him that if he failed to procure it, he should be ready to bear the consequences. So, this will give you a clue that, in fact, no one was at fault. And the setback happened. The plan was there, and I wanted it to fructify. But at the same time, I also felt that it would not. And because of that, I was repeating the matter over and over again. On the last day, June 4th, Elka expressed his inability to procure the vehicle. The one he had procured broke down. As a last resort, we even went to the extent of buying a station wagon, for which I sanctioned the amount. God knows how serious I was in seeing the plan materialize, and at the same time felt it never would. You cannot understand this. Just as Christ said, Father, even you have forsaken me. Now he was the Father and the Son. I knew he would be crucified. And still he said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Only Christ could understand this. What I mean is that when I plan a thing and setbacks occur, they are not setbacks, but I call them setbacks. If you look carefully, you will see the setbacks. I have marked a few only from today. Elka was to accompany me on the 21st, but now he cannot. Last time, also, we were to start on June 5th, but he was occupied. So it was postponed to the 6th. Now our trip on the 21st is also postponed until the 22nd. What I wanted to tell you was that the result of my work would have manifested in Kashmir. That is what I felt, and felt 100%. I sent Krishnaji to Kashmir to spread my message of love there. Were he not sent, I would have gone. Regarding the two items in circular number 9, issued on 28 March 1953, about humiliation and violent death. I felt they would take place in Kashmir. So I asked Kane and Dar to make arrangements in Kashmir for getting permits and arranging accommodations for myself and the Mandali. There was no question that I would go to Kashmir. But because of the unavailability of the station wagon and my whole plan becoming topsy-turvy, Kashmir was canceled. Let us see what God's will is and what happens about Kashmir. From what Krishnaji says, since last month, the whole atmosphere there is changed politically. Spiritually, it is in a mess. This is the present position in Kashmir. And if what I felt is right, it has to do with the upset of my plan. I call it an upset in my own way, but really it had to happen. So I canceled my trip to Kashmir. Baba continued, now we come to the main point. Excuse me. You have all read Life Circular number 9. It stands good and will stand good. Nothing can change it. Nothing can change it if what I feel is right. But if what I feel is not right, may God help me and you all. Then Baba is no Baba. But I know for certain, based on certain feelings, that I will have to face humiliation, then attack, and then manifestation, which means the breaking of my silence and the dropping the body. Today, I feel that before December ends, something serious is going to happen to my body, but not like what happened in America. Don't tell this to others. God knows, and I know that I first thought of my work, then of the Mandali, those with me and away from me, then of those dependent on me, and then about certain programs before the end of December. So I told Erich to make a complete list of Eastern and Western devotees and to divide it into 3 different groups, namely, number 1, ticked, number 2, question marked, and 3, crossed. Crossed are those who do not financially depend on me. Question marked are those who are to be discussed, which was done yesterday with the help of Adi Sr., Meherji, and Nariman. The question of those dependent on me has been settled up to the end of December, as I feel something serious may happen before December end. Now, this is again a paradox which you will never be able to understand. Just see.
End of today's reading. We'll pick up here next time.